Are you ready for this one, folks? Here we go. Taking Google Forms to the next level using mail merge extensions. If that sounds interesting, it's coming up next. All right, welcome to part one of a four-part series I have planned here on how to use mail merge in Google Forms using the Autocrat extension, which is an in-app extension for Google Sheets. Today we're going to go over a concept intro, and then you can see the other three parts that we have planned coming up here in this four-part series. All right, so what is a mail merge? Well, quite simply, it is a process of pulling data from a spreadsheet into a different type of document. Usually this is either a text document like a Google Doc and or a email. And I think I saw somewhere that they recently set up Autocrat so that you could do it into a Google slide as well. Okay, so first let's talk about some typical uses. Okay, so one way that people typically use this mail merge process is for batch emails. Okay, if you want to send the same general message to multiple email accounts all at once with the click of a button, you can use a mail merge. Same thing for print stuff. Okay, so batch printing, if you have a customer letter or something going out from the bank or any other business, right? You can create the template, merge all of the pertinent personal information, account numbers, addresses, names, etc. into that base document and then deliver it to everyone along with envelopes if you have their addresses. So kind of like we've been saying here, it allows you to individualize the info for the document depending upon the recipient of the document, which is kind of a powerful thing. So how does this typically work? Well, it starts with the data collection. You need info into a spreadsheet. Okay, so multiple columns are added to the spreadsheet that tracks information, things like names, addresses, etc., etc., etc. I highly recommend, which is the point of this tutorial, collecting this using Google Forms if it's applicable. You don't have to use Google Forms for this process to work, but it does take the onus of creating the data off of you and puts it on the user because they're the ones adding the information to the spreadsheet, so you don't have to, which is kind of nice. So after the data is collected, you need a template of some kind. So you create a simple base document. It can be any document you want. Like I've said, usually it's some sort of a Google Doc or an email perhaps. And then you include in this base document unique space holders that are formatted like I've shown here, where you have like, you know, / name / I don't know what the name of that symbol is there, but that's how you type in the space holders. These space holders will then be replaced with information from the spreadsheet. Essentially, we're going to tie specific columns of the spreadsheet to that specific piece of information. Once that's done, you link and merge the documents. So you'll follow the prompts and it will tell you, you know, here's this space holder we've found for name. Which column are we supposed to look at to find the name? Here's a space holder for address. Where do we look to find an address? And then it's just linking that data back and forth. Once you get all of that lined up, you select the merge for like, when do you want to merge it? Is it an automatic merge? So does it generate the document automatically? Or does it only generate it when you go in and tell it to? And then once the document is generated, you share it with the final end users. It sounds slightly complicated, but honestly, once you figure out how to do it, it's really, really simple. Okay, so what are some potential education uses? I broke this down into three main topics. We'll just go through them quickly. So for example, as a classroom teacher, where might you use something like this? A bathroom pass, a discipline form, a progress update. Maybe you want to do a homework reminder. You create all of these things so that when the kids go in and fill out the form, it automatically generates a document and emails it to either them or their parents or both, so that everybody knows what's going on or what happened in class that day. There's just all sorts of potential here. Same thing if you're down at the front office, if you're an administrator or even a secretary, right? How can we make the basic management of our school more streamlined using this process? Well, same thing for the classroom now, discipline forms. Maybe you have playground referrals set up this way so that you automatically get an email anytime someone misbehaves on the playground. You can use it the same way businesses use it, right? Printing school letters, welcome back to school stuff, whatever, with that personal touch of the child's name, the parent's name, the teacher that you've assigned them to. All of this stuff can be put into a spreadsheet and then automatically linked into the document so that the parent receives a letter that is personalized to them and their student, which just makes it feel that much more special. Schedule requests, counselor requests, even classroom observations could be done this way. Imagine the power of an informal walkthrough when you can walk into the room, open up a quick form, click, checkbox, whatever, and then the second you walk out, that teacher immediately receives an email from you sharing what you saw, what you observed, all those kinds of things. Just powerful potential stuff. And then some potential district options. Student placements. We use this 1 year for placing students in math classes from middle school to high school based on things like test scores, iReady data, teacher recommendations, etc., all created an individualized document for each student in the district and assigned to them to a specific math class when they got to high school. If you have building observations, obviously the teacher one we just kind of talked about, but what about observations for other parts of your district? How's the maintenance department doing? How's the cafeteria department doing? Anything like that. Community facility requests, sending out those same batch emails, instructional coaches, just lots and lots of potential uses here once you kind of get the idea of taking data from a spreadsheet, dropping it into a document or an email, and then sharing that with people who need that information in a potentially personalized response that feels specific to them. So my last question here for you today is, how might you use this tool? Be thinking about ideas, maybe share some down in the comments if I've excited you enough already. And then be sure to tune in for the next episode where we start diving into some of the specifics of how to set this up. I think it has some massive potential and could potentially streamline a lot of the issues that we deal with in education if we just take the time to wrap our heads around it and build a tool that will be user-friendly for everybody involved. So anyway, I'm looking forward to sharing with this idea with you, and I hope that you are too. That's all for this one, guys. We'll see you next time, and remember, technology is just a tool. We're here to help you use it.